Hey there everybody, this is Dr. Ogres, and welcome to part 26 of my Let's Play EVE Online. My god, it has been a long time. It's been a long couple months for the good doctor. Yeah, sometimes your life just kicks you in the teeth and it just doesn't let up. But things are, I'm not going to jinx it. Nope, not going to jinx it. But this week has been better than last, so that's good. Patch came out, yay, Crucible. Crucible is the new expansion for EVE Online, and as you can see, I'm back in the quarters, and they've done some optimization, and I also have a pretty sexy new setup here, so my system is a little bit beefier than it used to be. I can actually run 2 clients now with the Captain's Quarters enabled, so that's nice. This is the Galente Captain's Quarters. Before, all we saw was the Minmatar, so they added the Galente, the Caldari, and the Amar versions of it into the game as well. So that's great. It's basically the same layout and it's the same kind of thing. It's just not rusty, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with rust. But more importantly to me, they added a lot of the old functionality that we had kind of back into the game. So for example, I can just drag and drop a ship in and it activates it. If you didn't know you could do that, you could always do that. If you double click, it opens up the cargo hold of the ship, whichever ship. So that's good. If you right click over here, you get all the other stuff too, so you don't have to use this thing, which is great because meh. They've done a lot of graphical tweaks. The nebulas are awesome. We're going to go out and take a look at those here in a second. Obviously, the new ship skins, if you look at them in space, are gorgeous. I mean, I bet if we go out into the hangar, we can get a good look at the old Vexor here. They're just, everything is just a little bit sexier than it used to be. I'm pretty stoked about that. One of the things I like a lot is you can see the little Galente logo on it. All that good stuff is still there, and I mean, it's so shiny. So shiny. But one of the most important things is now there's this button that says Intership Hangar, and this takes us back to our old view of things, which still gets me many more FPS than the Captain's Quarters, but it's you know, there's a better balance now. And he's still happy, but he looks a little meaner. See, look at that. Anyway, so I was just in Dodexy because I'm going to pick up some skill books. So I'm going to go around to a school here, because what they also did was they did some rebalancing on the hybrids. I think I'm going to pull up the patch notes. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so these are the patch notes, and I'm just going to give you a quick scroll through because this is what they put in and changed for Crucible as opposed to Incarna. It's a lot of stuff. It's so much stuff that we really just won't be able to go through all of it. But there's some key things that I think will need to be kind of discussed. The first thing there's a lot of balance changes. The Dramiel has been nerfed a little bit. So it's not as fast as it once was, so I think we'll see fewer of those. The Oneirus has been buffed a little bit, so it's actually kind of a viable ship now, which will be nice. The capital ships have been changed quite a bit, which will be great out in Nullsec. So for those of you who do that, that'll be a huge change and kind of worth it. Hybrid weapons and T2 ammo has been rebalanced, so this has been kind of the biggest thing, especially in terms of the Doctor here. So hybrid charges are smaller, so you can fit more of them into the cargo with the gun. The turrets have their capacity reduced by 50% too, but so you can't stick more bullets in, but you can fit more in your cargo hold. There's a 5 CPU reduction on extra large turrets. There's a 3 CPU reduction on large turrets, 2 CPU reduction on medium, and 1 CPU reduction on the small, with the exception of the 75mm railgun, which was already pretty low. They use 12% less power grid, which is good, so they're easier to fit all around, with a couple of exceptions. The turrets have their reload times reduced to 5 seconds, which is enormous, so that just kind of puts them between the instant ammo change of the, say, lasers and the 10 seconds of the projectile turret. So it gives them a little bit of a bonus in their roll, which is good. Where was I? Capacitor usage has been reduced by 30%, so it'll take less cap to fire the guns, which is awesome. They get bonuses to tracking, 20% more. They get 5% more to damage. They get railguns get a 10% boost to damage and a 5% bonus to tracking, which is fantastic. I'm so excited about this. I can't even begin to tell you about it. It just makes railguns kind of a viable platform, which for the Doctor is going to be pretty interesting, because I'm going to really be looking at a Talos, which is kind of the next thing I wanted to talk about. Let's just find the Talos real quick. This is the Talos. It's the new Tier 3 Galente battlecruiser, and it is definitely a blaster boat. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about what the role of this ship is supposed to be. It's a blaster ship. Well, I guess you could fit it with rails if you wanted, but just like all of the other Tier 3 battlecruisers that have come out, it's light on the tank, heavy on the damage. My main and our corp have been running around with tornadoes. Those things are phenomenal. We love it. And I'm looking forward to kind of getting the Doctor here into the Talos. Let's just kind of take a quick look at the stats on the Talos. I'll just pull this out. So, as you can see, it's only got 1,800 armor hit points, 1,700 shield hit points, which is relatively low. The resists aren't fantastic, but they're not terrible. You could, I guess, do a resist tank, but the slot layout, which we'll look at here in a second, doesn't lend itself to that very well. It's got a good targeting range, 70 kilometers. It's got a decent scan resolution and a decent sig strength, so you won't be instant jammed, but you're still vulnerable to it. Sig radius is not terrible either. All this stuff is decent. The velocity is actually pretty darn quick. For a Galente ship to have a base velocity of 220 meters per second is great. Like I said, we've been running around with tornadoes a lot, and we have found that we fit them out without any heat. We can get the ships moving around 2,000 meters a second. With heat, we can push it just a bit over 3,000. And so they're really good at dictating range in combat, which is fantastic. And they lay on just a mean ball of hurt. They're great ships. So I'm hoping this one's just as good. Now, on the tornado, the grid is a little low. You can still, though, fit a full rack of large artilleries on it, and that's kind of what these things are built for. Is they take large guns, battleship size guns, and in this case it takes large hybrid turrets. So like I said, this is really a blaster boat. So it's going to 95% reduction in the power grid of large hybrid turrets, 50% CPU reduction of hybrid turrets, and 50% reduction of capacitor of hybrid turrets. So this just makes it so you can fit them on the ship and use them, which is the whole point. You get 5% bonus per level of battlecruiser to hybrid turret damage, so I'll be training that up to level 5 soonish. And you get 7.5 bonus to large hybrid turret tracking speed. So again, this will make blasters a very, very dangerous thing on this ship at close range, because you'll be having 8. If we go back to the fitting, so you see we have 8 high slots with 8 turret hard points. That means 8 blasters, 8 railguns. That's it. So you'll be just set up to go out and kick somebody in the butt and have a good time doing it. The mid slots, you got 4 of them. I would probably use them for prop mod and some E-War. Low slots, you got 5 of them. You could put a tank in that. I think you'd be better off with damage mods and some nanos to kind of help you get into range faster. That's my thoughts on it. But So as you can see, prerequisites, I can fly one right now, but I don't honestly have the skills for hybrids, because if you remember, I didn't train them on the Doctor because hybrids, right? So, but since they're better now, we're actually going to start training them. I've got my small hybrid turret in the queue right now to going to level 4. When we're at level 5 on that, we'll start looking at the Tech 2 rails and blasters, and we'll start working on the mediums and the larges as well. So that's a little bit of training that we need to do with the Doctor, but that's all a-coming. It's all a-coming. So what I think I'm going to do today, let's go ahead and undock, take a look at some of the nebulae. It's always pretty. Space has just gotten so much more pretty. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. I mean, we still intersect ships on undock, but you know, what are you going to do? I mean, come on. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Okay, so that would be Minmatar space over the Attaway. This is the Galente Nebula all around us here. And if you go out and start looking around, you can actually start seeing all other landmarks and other nebula. So I know DeLone Wolf did a video where he was in, I think it was Citadel, but you could actually see the cloud ring off in the distance, and it was pretty cool. And there's places where you can actually see all the various factional nebulae, if you will. So that's super awesome, I think. Another thing that they've done is that they've put engine trails back in, and these are better than they used to be. For those of you who never had engine trails, well, I guess you don't know what you were missing. But trust me when I say engine trails are awesome. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? That's so cool. I'm so happy that engine trails are back. I miss them so much. Another thing that they did, oh man, I don't even have my overview set up. I'm on a new computer, so I have got to take this. I gotta fix my overview. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, that was driving me crazy. I have real problems with that. Anyway, one of the things that they did, it's probably the Mars Nebula that way. It looks like it. Is they they changed the stargates, and the warp effects are way different. The tunnels go through things now instead of just like clipping planets, which is neat. All right, so this gate has an orientation now, and if we look at it and if we shoot through it, you'll see what it's aiming at is actually this star right over here. That star there is going to be the destination of this gate. So that's our Agrillarier. That's the star for that system. And the stars around us are actually other systems, and it all kind of has geography, and it makes sense now. So you have a sense of where you are in the universe and where things are at in relation to you. They also did something where now if you were not next to a gate, if you're halfway across the system and you want to, so I want to warp to Meebs and I want to jump on contact, I can just hit the old jump button and it'll warp me over to the gate and jump as soon as I get there, which is way cool. It also has a function now where if you want to loot a wreck, you just select it, you hit loot, and your ship will approach and open the cargo as soon as you're in range of it. There's also a loot all button. I mean, they've added a lot of little niceties to the interface that I think is totally worth it. So that's pretty cool, and overall I think I'm pretty happy with that stuff. And not just that, but the pretty stuff too. But also they've added so they added the 3 new ships. Those are the 3 battle cruisers: the Talos, the Tornado, the Oracle, and the Naga. All of them are awesome. They're really, really, really good. They've done some stuff in terms of lag out in nullsec, in particular the time dilation feature, so that now you'll actually be able to use your your turrets and stuff if you're in a heavily lagged system. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a situation where you jump into a system and you're still loading grid and you can't do anything, but you've been dead for 5 seconds because the other side didn't have that problem. And it just happens, and it was awful, and it was really, really difficult to work in combat in nullsec in large numbers because of it. So the time dilation will help that out quite a bit, and you should get some pretty epic fights going on because of it. We've talked about the captain's quarters, the new ships we've talked about. Everybody's got the new V3 shader set, which is what we're looking at on the Vexor here. Actually, let me just go back into Dodixie. And see, and again, it'll just approach the Stargate for you. I think the cloak effect may have changed a little bit as well. I think it's smoother, but that could just be me. The turrets we got new from the last patch, obviously, so that's not new, but they're still way cool. Excuse me. Then the new ships, of course, for the battlecruisers, and they're pretty cool. I mean, I think they're all great. They've added more Tech 2 modules, which is awesome. So they're gonna round out all of the T2 modules so that there's T2 of all the T1 stuff. These are the ones that I think are hilarious. The remote hull repair modules. I think one of these days I'm really gonna, when I have my time back, we're definitely gonna do a remote hull repping fleet. I think that'll just be hilarious. Customs offices. This is sort of a huge deal. They changed the way planetary interaction works. Now before there were customs offices, and well, heck, there probably still are. I'm just gonna go there. In high sec, all the customs offices have been transferred to Concord Control, I believe. In low sec, they were transferred to Interbus, and Interbus is I don't see it. That's weird. Can you not do PI in Dodixie? Or all these inhabited planets? I don't know. Anyway, in low sec you can actually blow up the PI office, the customs office around the planet, and you can oh, I don't see one. That's very bizarre. And place your own. So there's player owned customs offices now. In nullsec, same deal. So now you can, and in wormholes, so you can put your own customs office gantries up and set up taxes basically for people to take stuff off a planet, which in low sec will be hilarious. I don't know. At some point, I think somebody's going to have enough muscle to defend them, but that's kind of funny. And in nullsec, obviously the alliances who own the space will be putting on taxes for their members, maybe or maybe not, depending on the alliance, who are doing that stuff, which will be kind of funny. They changed the fonts. You should be able to kind of tell. It's more readable for certain. It's larger for me, but they also did something where they have UI scaling in the system. So right now we're at 100%. We could change that to 90%. And yes, we want to scale the UI and everything will be smaller, or we could crank it up to 125%. And now everything's ginormous. But overall, I think it's definitely more legible. And I don't know. I think it's an improvement. I wasn't really that worried about it, but I know some people who couldn't read it very well. What else did they do? And loot all, we talked about that. Engine trails, turret effects. Oh, there are misses. Let me get into something real quick. I know I'll just pick up a mission and we'll go run it, and we'll take a look at the misses. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna go pick up a mission. A couple jumps out. I've set the. I know I'm using autopilot. I've set the destination for a few systems, but it's just gonna be a real simple level 1 mission. I just wanted to show you the guns. But while we're doing that, I figured it was. I don't know. Never ever use autopilot. It's terrible. Anyway, back to what we're doing. While we're doing that, I thought I would mention destroyers. They did some balancing on destroyers. It doesn't sound like a huge thing, but the rate of fire penalty on destroyers has been removed. If I can find... Whoa, didn't want that. Where's the destroyer? Destroyer. For all destroyers, shield and armor have increased by 10%. Capacitors have increased by 25%. Signature radius has increased by 25%. That's pretty enormous. The rate of fire penalty has been removed, also enormous. This is kind of... Destroyers in and of themselves were never really terrible ships. The problems always came in with capacitor and your sig radius. So you were really fragile, and you were really easy for frigates to kind of tear apart in groups. Destroyers were always good at kind of blowing up small frigate-sized ships. Now they're going to be amazing at it because the rate of fire penalty is not there. So you can toss on artillery and really do a number, or an autocannon thrasher, which has always been a dangerous ship, is going to be incredibly dangerous now. It doesn't do much good for the capacitor capacity there, except for, of course, for your prop mod. But the signature radius is going to be a huge thing. I think that going with a micro warp drive, our autocannon thrasher is going to be a pretty popular trend, and I think that artillery thrashers and support roles with that group will be pretty amazing. I think seeing a fleet split with like autocannon thrashers and artillery thrashers would be, wow. I would run if I were in frigates. You're going to get the autocannon thrashers going to tank up, and they're going to come in and they're going to lay down the points and webs and lay in a bunch of damage already, and then the artillery thrasher is just going to alpha things from range. It's going to be pretty insane. So that's pretty exciting. So as a result of that, I actually broke out the old catalyst here, and it's a never been one of my most favorite ships. I'll be honest. But it looks much better now that it has the new shaders, doesn't it? I think so. Super sexy. And I fit it with some railguns. And specifically, my fitting is 150mm scout rails, an afterburner, a SIBO, power core, and a couple tank modules. Mostly just to kind of get these armor numbers up to around 50-ish%. I have to have this in because I don't have enough grid to do what I want to do. I mean, this is something else they changed. They tell you how much you have left, which is great. See, I'm 2.5 units of power grid left over, so that lets me know a lot better what I actually have available. So when I'm in fitting, and if I mouse over something, it'll actually set these numbers to what it's going to be, even if they're negative. So I don't have to worry about it so much anymore. It's cap stable. It's got, meh DPS from drones, 96 DPS from turrets, which is pretty decent. Alpha, I think, is where the good times are going to be. Not too bad on the effective hit points, and the targeting, all that stuff's good. Anyway, so that's my spiel on destroyers. I think they're going to be a pretty viable ship going forward. I think all of them will be much more viable. But I think thrashers are still going to be kind of the kings of the destroyer heap. We'll see. I'm going to go talk to an agent here in Offay. And oh, that's another thing. Autopilot's 2 stations and docking for you. How about that? That's pretty fancy. So I'm going to be here in Offay. I'm going to pick up a mission, and then as soon as I have something to shoot at, we'll pick this back up to show you the miss effects. Alright, so I picked up a mission for the Astral Mining Inc. It's not a mining mission though, don't worry. We're gonna go kill some Mordu's headhunters by the looks of it. So I'm going to warp to location. And it's Dead Space, which is why I have an Afterburner fit instead of Mark Warp Drive. Oh, look at those trails. Oh, sexy. So at any rate, there's a whole bunch of other stuff too. Control towers have changed quite a bit. The fuel in them is now a pellet, so it's a single unit item to fuel towers, which makes it a lot easier for anybody who's never had to deal with control towers. I still don't have my... you're lucky. For everyone else, you know, for those of us who have had to deal with them, we all kind of, I think, know... Look at that damage. I think we all kind of know how that will work, and I think we'll be looking forward to it. Come on, guys, shoot me. Let's go. There we go. Well, I'm missing him, aren't I? You're making my life hard. Come on. I'm going to wait for this guy to shoot me. But yeah, so that's going to make our lives a lot easier from the refueling. Now, what goes into those pellets is actually the same as it used to be. So it's the same fuel components. They're just like made into like one unit pellet, which is great. We've already swapped all of our control towers over to we split their fuel base, and that change will happen soon. Oops, sorry about that. I think, which is good, and we're looking forward to it. It's such a pain in the butt trying to haul all of that stuff into place all the time. Let me get an orbit around this guy. Let me just do a 10. Should be able to miss from that range. So the cool thing about these trails are the faster you're going, the oh, there we go. So they don't all go to the same spot on the ship anymore. And if you miss... Oh, oops. I one-shotted him. Well, that's what you get for bringing a destroyer to a frigate fight. If you miss, they will not hit your ship, which is cool. So, because before it looked like you would... flying along and every gun from every ship is smacking you in the middle of your ship, and your little pop-up comes up, they missed you completely. So that's great. I think this is this the first mission I've ever run with this character? I bet it is. I bet it is. Standings? Yeah, except for the tutorial missions, huh? Dude, oh, look at that. Yeah, wow. That's kind of nuts. I have never run missions with Dr. Ogres. This is the first mission. Probably the last, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of missions. I don't know, I might run some. I was thinking I wanted to get some standings up so that I could get jump clones. But that's kind of it's a long grind, and yeah, I think you kind of need to be careful about which NPC group you do that with. But I do want jump clones. Maybe I don't know, these guys seem relatively easygoing. Maybe I'll go ahead and run them for them. But the problem is you have to start with level 1 missions, blah, blah, blah. I wish there was an easier way to raise your standings that didn't involve that or faction warfare or something. I just can't believe how gorgeous it is. Everything looks better now that it's got the new nebula in place, I think. I mean, everything just looks so much better. It feels more realistic, that's for sure. If you're too far away from a gate when you hit activate, now your ship will approach it. If you're not, it'll just obviously start firing away when you get there. I don't even know what mission this is again. Uh-oh, reinforcements. Yeah, whatever. Bam, pow, pachoo. Well, there they are. Let's see. Fire at that guy. And I'm just sitting still. Because I'm in a destroyer and they're all in frigates. And my tank's not great, but it's good enough for this mission, that's for sure. I think that's probably why I don't care for missions. It really all boils down to tank and what you're tanking and what damage they're dealing and blah blah blah. And I'm kind of a meh. It's too easy to sort out what the optimals are. Let's just approach this guy. Kaplooey. Come on. Well, actually, if I'm still missing him, that's pretty good. Oh, is he stuck inside? There, you can see my railgun shots are actually going up and around him. Boom. They're not actually hitting his ship when I miss. That one did, though. See? That's way cool. That's much better. Kapowie. That one hit him. Oh, why not? You get 4 million-isk. I have auto lock on, don't I? That's terrible. Shut that off. Doctor's in a generous mood today. It just looks better, I think, now that the shots aren't all heading to the same spot.
Has run out of charges.
Up down to 5-second reload time.
The module has run out of charges.
And the engine trails. God, I love the engine trails. Look at them. Now we're gonna get up this way. He'll kite behind us, and then he'll die. I think. Guess we'll find out. Yeah. And that's how you do it. See, if I'm orbiting, my tracking's not good enough, and he'll survive. If I'm not orbiting, and I just get him behind me and engage my afterburner, then he'll kite behind me. I'll get better transversal, or I won't have a problem with transversal, and he'll die. Low mission running. They're just not, I don't know, the AI on it's just not smart enough for me. Ludo. Anyway, alright, I'm gonna loot this up. I don't know, probably not worth my time to salvage it. Double check, make sure my objectives are all complete here. Objectives are complete. Alright then. Then I'll go turn this mission in. Ooh, 100. Wow. That's, whew, golly. Cold gas arc jet. That's pretty good though. That's pretty good. Alright guys, so I will pick this up in a little bit when I'm doing something a little bit more interesting this. Have you ever noticed the little guy in the back of the Dominic's? So with his hand on his hip, and he's smiling at you. With his legs, it's his belly. Now try to unsee that one. Okay, so I found a radar site over in Syndicate. We're going to jump in, see if we can't get ourselves not killed. That's my goal for the day. I have my code breaker fit. It's just pretty much straight drones in the Dominic's today. This is Gift Horse, of course. Personal locations, and it was... What was it called? No. I have completely forgotten already. I was being so clever. Warp to within 100. It's got to be it. Oh my god, he's locking me up. Huh. He must be on a scramble on me. We'll just burn into gate. I should be able to tank anything that comes at me. Mm-hmm. Alright. It's very bizarre. I'm on the gate already, Jack. Jarek. Sorry, not Jack. Jarek.
The capacitor is empty.
He's very bizarre. That's what he was after. 11 clicks.
Warp drive active.
Oh, come on, potato. These things are so slow, double plated especially. All right, with that excitement out of the way, I think we're gonna try this again. Yeah, turn off those notifications. Oh, shuttle. Did I lose my friend? No, Dorian's still here. Let's see, is there a way around? Yeah. Do I have a bookmark off that? I don't think I do. We'll go 100 off of that gate. Ideally, we'll fly around and not get killed. I bet my drones aren't organized. They are not. Oh, this is killing me. 1, 2, 3, 4. New computer means I lose all my settings. New group. Camera time. Time 2. Heavy horses. Warriors. I only have 4 ogres. And they're ogre 1s. Man, I haven't updated this ship for a while. Ogres. New group. Cheap hammers. Alright. Where is he at? Well, he's not on that gate. So let's align to the sun. Yep, there he is. I wish I had a ship scanner. He's getting closer. We're just gonna pop. We're gonna bounce. Yeah, if we're gonna play that game, I might need to refit. Yeah. Not really a PvP fit.
Warp drive active.
I could have gone there, I guess. Oh, it's right on top of me. Oh. So close. That one.
Warp drive
Mix it up a little bit. And off I go.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Oh, he's in station. Gosh. I don't know that I have stuff here for that. Alright, let me see if I can fit something and get this guy baited up. Alright, there's just not enough guns in this system, as I was telling my dear friend Dorian Ramius here. CSA for CAS for his whole life. Alumni. I'm alumni. I wouldn't fib. I'm gonna try to check over at the Thucker station because I don't think I can get PvP fit together in this system. I'm just gonna find out where the guns is at. I don't think I can use sentry drones yet. Would be nice. Turrets and base, turrets and base. And there's this point where it's just too expensive. Oh, can't use large blasters, can I? See, this is my hatred of blasters coming back to get me. I'm sure the Dominic's... And I know somebody showed me how to search things better, but... meh. I just want to verify my... large hybrid. See, it's really all about hybrids and drones, hybrids and drones. I really... And my hatred of hybrids has really kind of come to bit me in the ear. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to get a... Talos. Oh, oof. Where's it at? Where's it? 55 million. 9 jumps. Lame. I don't want to jump 9 jumps with something like that. Okay, so, I don't know. I don't think he's going to let me out to play in something other than this Helios. I can kind of keep an eye on station. But, I don't want to get ganked in a PvE fit. So I don't know. I might just wrap it up here for tonight. It's kind of, I think, been a long video anyway. And I want to make sure I get it edited and uploaded and all that good stuff. But given that there's another day off for me this week, which is very exciting, I may actually get some time to record. But it really depends on what my main has to do with his corp and all that good stuff. But hopefully I can do that. So I'm going to cut it here for now, guys. If something exciting happens between now and the time I log out the dock, I will get the recording back up. But otherwise, thanks a lot for watching. It's been good seeing you guys again, and I will talk to you soon.